Hey everybody, it's Wes with Fundamental Games, teaching you a little bit more about Dungeon Makers. This time I'm going to talk about the icons that are on tiles and how they give you points. So this is a little cheater card or a player aid to show you how points work. I've went over the tiles in a previous video, so this is about the icons. In the game, the only icons you will find is on the tunnel tiles and on the chamber tiles, and you'll see some of those here. That's because the other tiles give you points in different ways and have other benefits. But how you get these icons is by playing these in your dungeon. If you have treasure icons, so these guys here, they're worth points at the end of the game, not during the game. So as long as these tiles are sitting in your dungeon at the end of the game, you get 1 point for every treasure in your dungeon. Plus, if you have the most, you get a bonus 5 points. And 5 points may not sound like a lot, but it is worth it in the end of the game. Those 5 points could make or break your game. And there are a couple of tiles that actually have 2 treasures, so they're really handy to get. So that is the treasure icon. The next icon is stairs. So stairs are different than treasures in that they give you an icon when you play it into your dungeon. So as soon as you play it, you move up the score track 1 point. If I play another one, I get another point. But they're not worth points at the end of the game, so they're a wonderful target for the replace a tile action or swap a tile action. So there you go, staircases. The next type is encounters, and you'll see there are 3 types of encounter tiles in the game. There's the cave crab, there's the eyebat, and then there's the minotaur. And so the way these work is as long as they're in your dungeon at the end of the game, they're worth 2 points each. But if you have a pair of any of them, you get a bonus point. So if I have 2 cave crabs, I get an extra point at the end of the game, so this would be worth 5. Or if I had 2 minotaurs, it would be worth 5. But if I had, let's say I had 1 of each of these, I would still get my 6 points, but I wouldn't get any of the bonus points because they don't match. So you can they could be potentially worth up to 2.5 points each if you're finding the pairs for them. So that is the encounter tiles. And then finally, the most lucrative way to get points with icons is the trap tiles. So for every set of traps, you earn a certain amount of points. There are 5 trap types. So you'll see there's a spike pit. Don't worry, these icons are a little bit more enhanced in the latest version. There is a floor spikes. There's a gargoyle. There's a swinging metal ball. And then there's a collapse trap. So these 5 traps, if you had 1 of each trap in your dungeon at the end of the game, you would earn yourself 21 points. If you only had 4 of them, you would earn 13 points. If you had 3, 7, 2, 3, and 1, 1. Now chances are you'll have more than just 1, but the reason that that's on there is if you have a set of 3 tiles, but then you also end up with a duplicate of a tile. So let's say we end up with an extra floor spike. So maybe at the end of the game I've got these 3 in my dungeon plus this one. I would earn my 7 points for this set of 3, and this would be considered its own set of 1 for an extra point. So traps are always worth points, even if you get duplicates, but they are worth more if you get the variety. If you get the full 5, that 21 points is a big game swing. So when you're playing against your opponent, that's something to pay attention to, is watch out what's in their dungeon. And maybe you want to grab that one tile that they might need, because there's only a couple of each icon type in the stacks of dungeon tiles. So there you go, that is the icons. I'll talk about something else in the next video. Thanks for watching.